Once upon a time, in the funky little village of Boogieville, there lived a farmer named Fred who owned a donkey named Disco Dave. Now, Disco Dave wasn't your average donkey. Back in his prime, he was the grooviest hauler on the farm, strutting through the fields like he was auditioning for a dance movie. But age had slowed his swagger, and Fred let him spend his days chilling in the meadow, munching grass and dreaming of his glory days on the dance floor. One dazzling afternoon, while Disco Dave was practicing his moonwalk near a suspiciously shiny patch of grass, he slipped whoosh and plummeted into a deep, narrow well. This wasn't just any well. It was the village's old wishing well, rumored to grant wishes but mostly just full of glitter from a failed festival. Trapped and covered in sparkles, Disco Dave let out a dramatic bray that sounded like a remix of a foghorn and a karaoke fail. Half an hour later, Fred's nosy neighbor, Gossiping Gary, heard the commotion while sneaking a peek at his rival's tomato patch. Peering into the well, Gary gasped, "Disco Dave, you're shinier than my cousin's sequin jumpsuit." Without missing a beat, he sprinted to Boogieville, shouting, "Emergency! The donkey's gone full disco ball." Fred, who was napping under a tree, snapped awake and rallied the village squad. Think less heroic rescue team and more chaotic book club with shovels. They hustled to the well, where Disco Dave was striking poses, hoping to charm his way out. The villagers tried everything: ropes, a makeshift pulley, even luring him with a carrot on a stick. But the well was too deep, and Dave's dance moves were too distracting. As the sun dipped low, Fred, sweating and out of ideas, had a wild thought. This well's a safety hazard, and Dave's too old to boogie anyway. Let's fill it up and call it a day. The villagers, confused but loyal, grabbed shovels and started tossing dirt into the well. Gossiping Gary whispered, "This is how you know Fred's never getting invited to the village talent show." Down in the well, Disco Dave felt the first clumps of dirt hit his back. "Oh, heck no," he thought, praying like a diva denied her spotlight. But then, mid-tantrum, a light bulb went off, or maybe it was the glitter reflecting. With every shovel of dirt, Dave shook his tail like he was in a dance-off, letting the soil pall beneath him. He stomped, he grooved, he worked it. Each layer of dirt became a step higher, turning the well into his personal dance platform. The villagers, oblivious, kept shoveling until Dave's brays stopped. Fred leaned over the well, expecting a sad scene, only to see Disco Dave moonwalking on a mound of dirt inches from the top. With a sassy flick of his tail, Dave leapt out, landing with a spin that would have made a pop star jealous. The crowd gasped, then cheered, as Dave trotted off, shaking off glitter like a furry supernova. Fred stood there dumbfounded, realizing he'd underestimated his disco donkey. Dave, now the talk of Boogieville, pranced into the sunset, ready to start a dance academy for retired farm animals. The moral: when life throws dirt at you, shake it off and dance your way to the top. Also, never underestimate a donkey with rhythm.